Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Daryl Clark. Stephanie Woodard is live on assignment. Our top story, the evidentiary hearing for 4 men who claim they were wrongfully convicted of murder 18 years ago started today in Fairbanks Superior Court. Now, Stephanie Woodard has been covering the proceedings and is live from the Rabinowitz Courthouse downtown. Stephanie?
Thank you, Daryl. This morning marked the beginning of what could be a 30-day trial for the group of men referred to as the Fairbanks Four. Now, it's been almost 2 years since the group of men filed for post-conviction relief, asking for exoneration in a 1997 murder in which they were convicted of. This morning, Judge Paul Lyle opened the hearing with a stern message to the public. No cell phones or computers are allowed inside of the courtroom during proceedings as he embarks on the arduous task of determining their fate.
The month-long trial for the group of men known as the Fairbanks Four began early this morning in Fairbanks Superior Court.
Fairbanks Police Department continued to hear these same names in connection with the killing of John Hartman, but the Fairbanks Police Department continued to do nothing.
Kevin Pease, George Freeze, Eugene Vent, and Marvin Roberts have been in jail for 18 years, convicted of the brutal 1997 murder of Fairbanks teen John Hartman.
She heard the attack on John Hartman. She heard his youthful voice saying, "No, please, no."
Today, after nearly 2 years of legal hoops, the men have their shot at getting exonerated after new evidence came to light from another inmate and former Fairbanks man penned a letter.
He said I went on one. I was just stomping old boy out.
He described hanging out with his friends Shelmar Johnson, Marquez Pennington, Rashawn Brown, and Jason Wallace, and casing the city for, quote, drunken natives to mess with. It was then the men allegedly saw Hartman cross the street alone, and the deadly assault took place, something Holmes testified he wasn't aware of until days later.
And it still didn't register until I read I seen Barnett and whatever street it was, and when I read that, that's when for me it clicked that was the area that we were in on that Friday night. So I was just like, I was shocked.
Inside of Holmes' sworn affidavit, he recounts the night and says that Jason Wallace brutally beat Hartman to death while another man, Marquez Pennington, rummaged through his pockets. It was something Holmes said the group agreed to never speak of again.
I was just like, that's when he began to talk and just say, hey man, you know, everybody gotta be quiet, and then he said, you know, if everybody ain't quiet, we're gonna have to kill the others.
Wallace allegedly made similar statements implicating himself, but others feared they would be killed if they came forward.
End of it where he was like, if you guys say anything, I'm gonna kill you too. Very lucky. This is just being selfish again. That Mr. O really found me and was able to let me get this off my chest and the truth to come out, because I really wouldn't want to take this to my grave.
It was only after that that the alleged assailants found out that another group of teens, later identified as the Fairbanks Four, were arrested and charged with the murder.
Went over there, he handed me a newspaper again. I opened up the newspaper, and as I was reading it, it said that the 4 natives had confessed to what had happened that night.
Reporting from Rabinowitz Courthouse, this is Stephanie Woodard.